tenche sangye drupasho. Chukam soki chonam la, chanchu padu dani kyatsuchi, dani chunye jupe sonangi, lola tenche sangye drupasho.
Good morning, everybody. Are you guys wake up? I'm still not really wake up. I just come back this morning, 5 o'clock, to LA. Seen all this. It's 2 days. Therefore, all night fly. 2 hours fly. Sleep. And they talk. They give some orders. Always there. It's a little bit. If mirror the teaching time, I fall asleep. Anyway, everybody set up perfect probation. Benefit all sentient beings, therefore chief enlightenment, therefore I listen, I study, I practice to Buddhism. Anyway, everybody think about, usually, I think 6 billion people. Billion. I think there's 6.
7.
So 7?
Just hit 7.
Really? Oh. Anyway, 7 or 6 or 7 billion people, human beings all over the world. Then, some part people believe religions. Some part people doesn't believe religions. It doesn't matter. Who believe in religion, who doesn't believe in religion, doesn't matter. They all have same wishes to happiness and unwanted to soften. It's believe religion or non-believe religion, doesn't matter. And who believe the religions, then they have also many different kind of things, religions. Some, religion, the Jews and all, religions, they believe to create the God. Some religion believe, some religion doesn't believe to create a God. It doesn't matter if you create a God or not create a God. And anyway, everybody have faith, very strong faith to their own God. And then we pray for God, please help to us to achieve happiness. The goal and reason is everybody happy, wish to happiness. Therefore we pray the God or pray the Buddha. Then, Kushan, Geshe, Buddhism, and Hindi, Hinduism, they are all pray the God. Why? Because they want happiness. We Buddhism also pray the Buddha. So why? We need happiness. We ask to Buddha to help to give some blessing to happiness. Therefore, anybody believe or religion or not believe or religion, doesn't matter. Anybody wish to happiness is the same. Then there are many different methods achieve the happiness. Abandon that suffering, right? Then in Buddhism, pray the Buddha. Also, Buddha said, Buddha is, some person, same as us, 2,500 years. He born in India. First he married, he has a kid, he is king. After he saw, same as us, usually we check, just we can see each other, everybody's perfect. But we could go a little detailed and everybody has their own little problem. Sometimes big, sometimes small, right? Then Buddha saw us. People are suffering. It's looking big, suffering to sickness, suffering for die, suffering for an age, Anybody getting old, then they are not really suffering, not happy, right? Then think about that, I'm getting low age. When I was 20, 16, I never thought I'm my age. No, I'm 40, I said, I'm 40. little suffering to age. I said, I'm 40. When we are 10 years, 11 years old, we are also suffering too. We need to little grow up. Otherwise, parents always, you're too small, you have to do that. Little adults do some other things. We need to join them. Then we need to wish to grow up. Now, it's my age is this one little age, or maybe finish my half life. Everybody has, anyway, and Buddha saw the sufferings, then he checked method. How we saw that the sufferings? How can we free to the sufferings? Then he checked, he meditation. His meditation 6 years without going, to the same place. Then he achieved, because enlightenment. Anyway, he achieved the conquest of
So he achieved a state of full enlightenment, everlasting happiness.
Right. Then he invites for us, beings. Okay, I had this experience for me, this count. I saw the sufferings, then I tried to meditation, then I am free from the sufferings. This kind of method, this kind of practice. He wrote 108 volumes. Main teaching is 3 different terms. Usually many, of course, they teach a lot of, but usually men is the first, second, third. What he said, okay, it is called suffering. It is, he found some subject. He said it is called the suffering. That is called the happiness. When everybody is same to wish happiness. Everybody is same to the free from suffering. Therefore, this is my method or my idea or my experience. Then, if it's true or not, you check. He give for us. Don't believe. And Buddha said that. Don't believe that. It is unworkable.
It's the way of following the dull faculties.
No. He said, you can check. Then he said, we have not suffering. Why? Then he told, because the suffering and happiness is come from cause and conditions. Then the second question, who created that cause? Then he pointed out us. He did. Then what we did the cost. Then he said,
So we did that out of ignorance, not knowing, and so forth.
Therefore, for example, we can everybody just check, everybody just think, when we get angry, we are not happy, right? Who is angry? I'm angry. I'm angry, I'm not happy. And the Kuru Sozo Sandeva, Kuru Sozo Kalimacho, the
So when we think about the immediate effect of anger, so when we get angry, we become ourselves unhappy. So that's the immediate effect of that getting angry. So if it is out of ignorance, not knowing, and the delusions, then we are suffering, then how do we eradicate these delusions? And so on the other hand, of course, we have to come to understand the reality, what is the actual way of the things that exist. And so Thubten Damchoe and then on the other side, you have to have this sympathy towards all sentient beings, thinking that they are all same as oneself, not wanting any sufferings and always wanting to have happiness. And then followed by that sympathy, then you have to have that wish, wanting them to be free from their suffering, which is compassion. So the great master, glorious Chandrakirti, said the compassion is very important. It is very important to have at the time, when you are practicing, at the time when you achieve enlightenment. So it is needed all the time, compassion. So in his text, the text that he wrote on the middle way, engaging in the middle way, he praised to compassion, saying that compassion is very important. At the beginning, it is the compassion that makes you want to have that wish to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. And then in the middle, it is that compassion that propels in you to continue to work on achieving enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. And it is the compassion at the end that makes you want to benefit sentient beings after you have achieved enlightenment, and makes you want to work for the benefit of other sentient beings. And so the compassion is like the seed at the beginning, and then it's like the fertilizers, the manure, and so forth in the middle, and then it's like the fruit at the end. So compassion is very important, and all these three times, therefore, I pay homage to compassion. And so finally, eventually, or ultimately, what we want is the everlasting happiness of full enlightenment. And so that is the result. And so in order to have that result, we have to first create the cause, right? And so the actual cause to achieve that enlightenment is the wish to achieve enlightenment, right? So first, having that wish, wanting to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings, is the cause for achieving enlightenment.
manzo leka kari chimana revade topala revade tumde yulo mena namu revade toto marwas revade toya nazo meto che marwa.
So whatever things that we want to achieve, in order to achieve that, we have to have the wish, wish to want to have it, right? Without having the wish, we will not be able to achieve it, right?
그냥 나도 그때 임바이나야 조사하고 그랬어. 너 마마체기야. 그래. 스코치가 오늘 가지 되게 뭐도 도야지. 내가 때 도야지 쳐도 그때는 뭐 마음이 엄청 좋아서 왔을 때다.
So many people, they buy the lottery ticket, right? So the scratch ticket. And in order to achieve, in order to obtain many wealth or abundance of money.
Right. 아니 다 가서 그냥 하다 가진 거야. 다 로트리 갔다 뭐 가시 통보를 덮어 왔어.
So anyway, a few weeks ago, some people won the lottery, right? They won a lot of money on that, right?
Everybody wish for win or laugh, right? Do you get wish? I think so, everybody wish. So of course they know. But do you guys think that person to the moment that they went, the moment, do they really happy or not? Everybody think they're happy, right? But moment think, then second, they're scared. Do you think? No? 거기서 대 top kitchen 이반이 거기다가 신나고 빌렸다 그래서.
And so from the second moment of obtaining that big lump sum of money, they have developed so much fear in their mind, right?
몇가지 누구한테 그게 거의 개코하다 마사리도 지금 야채에 하나 하면 거기.
So I heard some people, they just fainted, right? When they heard they won the money, they just fainted and they couldn't stand up at all.
아니 몇가지 야는 고도나라에 찜바서 할 때 그런 뉴스 있냐 거기.
Some wet their pants.
Do you guys heard this? 쇼진이 그거 가야 쇼진이 꼭 생하시나 그런 요구를 와서.
So in one hand, they're very excited, very happy, but on the other hand, they're also very afraid, right?
근데 그것도 생활 내려요. 청소 삼들어나. 기진이반이 당연히도 가르쳐줬다. 가와샤고 가르쳐줬어. 갖고 될 셈도 나다.
So yeah, from the second moment, they already have this fear, thinking, what should I do? What will happen to it? Who will come and rob me and so forth? So they have already these fears developed.
I think I already told you guys this story maybe a long time. One Tibetan two beggars just talking. He said, if we found size to gold, sheep's head, then what do we do? And he said, okay, then they just talk. He said, okay, we can do who sees first, they get. He said, no, we go together because we have to share. He said, no. Who can see first, they got bigger ones. Then they talk. Then they fight. They didn't get the gold. Then one other person comes and says, what happened to you guys? Oh, we just fighting to be some. Still you go goya.
So the person asked them why you guys are fighting, and they said, oh, we're fighting because we couldn't decide who should get a bigger portion of the size of the gold. That's the size of sheep head.
Then okay, where do you go? Bring here. I will help you to share it. Oh, we have not yet. We have to go again. Then that person to laughing. Then he's 남주 쌈나 남주 생각가 누웠어. 돼지 빼자 먹으잖아. 통도 내가 토거리 너무 재미도 왔어.
So of course we do think that if I can obtain that much of money, I'll be very happy, right? We all think that.
But they've been big suffering. I mean, big fighting. Then maybe the whole family is fighting. The kids say, okay, when my parents goodbye, then I can get it. Right? A lot of kids are waiting to their, if the parents are rich, a lot of kids are waiting to their die. Maybe I'm very bad. I'm not coming from Venice.
If I'm not bad mother, maybe have heard some people say that the kids they wait for their parents to die so that they can, have all their wealth.
Some person really told me. He told me his mom's too lonely. So why? Because if she died now, I got her house. Some people, not all of them, some people very there, Anyway, why I have to tell this. Therefore, I told you, I'm not really wake up. Call out. Hello. Why do that?
So anyway, going back to where we started from, about the result, right? In order to achieve the result, you have to create a cause, right? So the result, the state of full enlightenment, is achieved by generating the wish to achieve enlightenment, and that wish comes from compassion. So what is compassion, if someone were to ask you?
If you are ready to kiss mom, you are always to compassion your own kid, right? Always think about it.
So you have your the love or affection towards your child all the time, right? You want the child to be safe and happy and so forth. That kind of wish is there all the time, right? And usually, of course, the mother, when they have that kind of affection towards the child, it is out of attachment. Mostly, it's out of attachment because this is my child, I want my child, to be safe, to be happy, and so forth. So when you have that grasping, it is mostly based on that kind of love is based on attachment. So that's just like that kind of thought you have towards your child, you should have towards all sentient beings. So when you think of others in that way, then you don't have that clinging. This I, and so forth. So that is a very good wish. So that is the kind of wish you should have towards all sentient beings, and that's called compassion. So if you have that kind of compassion towards all sentient beings, then you will never create a cause to experience suffering. So we suffer as a result of engaging in the non-virtuous actions, right? The killing, stealing, lying, and so forth, which is all done on the basis of having attachment, anger, ignorance, jealousy, and so forth, right? But if you have compassion towards all sentient beings or any sentient being, then you would not have that kind of afflictive emotion towards that sentient being, right?
Maybe if you can show the angry face or some emotion, but you're not angry deep, seems sometimes angry to our enemies, right? Sometimes parents, maybe here their parents doesn't very, very soft to their kids. If you Tibetans, they do not that. She told say, pinching. Then they take beat. But doing the beating, or even they do something action to kids, but this is not the kanmo de karn the kuru marwas. Kanmo de da ni pu de ya pu yo ni pu de chi ko 많이 받잖아. 근데 그런 것도 괜히 지금 내가 그렇고 다시 라고는 되는 거 왔어.
So that's like a wrathful means, to help tame the child, right? It's not really out of anger. It's mostly thinking that, for my child to behave well, to be a good person, and so forth, I have to teach him, to do this and that, and then I'm showing this wrathful way, to teach him. So that's not really anger, right?
말아서 수수 뿌글라 코노 사바당 수수 무가데다 코노 사바 최근하기도 했어.
So, that kind of wrathful feeling towards the child and anger towards someone that you don't really like your enemy, that's a big difference there, right?
근데 말이다. 간제 선제 강가로 수술 뿌글라 샤베 제가 나시 깨터와이나 다 선제 잘 때문에 대받아. 나시 거 와요.
And so if you can have compassion towards all sentiment just like you have towards the child, then you will not have that wish to cause any harm to others, right? So if you don't have that wish to cause harm to others, then you will not create any non-virtuous actions in relation to others.
그거 가르치면서 있나? 가르치나? 왜 차라고 싶어이나? 그거? 아니 수술 딱 막아서 코로나가 나와있나요? 지금 밤에 그 뿌글라 코로나 사고 나지 마도 수술 막아서 코로나 사고 이거 사고 말고 왔어. 그리고 선생님이 등한테 들리니 시계터가 있나?
So if you're able to generate compassion towards all sentient beings, then you might become angry in a way like a mother becomes angry towards a child, like showing a wrathful means to help the child to behave in a proper way. So that kind of anger, that kind of wrathful feeling, aspect of feeling you can show towards others, but you will not have actual anger like you will have towards your enemy, right?
다야 들린 인지를 제발아야 얘한테 다 빠지는 거 같아서 나중에 아직 다야 그냥 먹을도 내가 말은 인지를 계속 말해서.
So in order to have that kind of wish, wanting them to be free from all sufferings, you have to be able to see them. That's being very kind to you, and then how they have been very kind to you, and that has to come with a wish, wanting to repay, their kindness. And in order to have that wish and to repay their kindness, you have to think about the kindness they have shown, and then to have that thought, understanding, and how they have been very kind to you. You have to know in what way they have been kind to you, like being at what time, like when they were your mother and so forth. So you have to go through all that sevenfold cause and effect instruction, or extending the equalize of self with others. Those practices first.
아니 나도 남이 촌을 다 sem정과 저랑 가르치 모르겠어 그냥 그래서.
And so in Buddhism we believe that every sentient being has been very kind to us.
워낙 가르치는 답변아 단단 나도 알려요. 다들 아메리칸 되는 문제로 왔어.
So how have they been very kind to us? For example, like everybody here in America, all the people in America.
다 말아서 산에 내가 옆에 그 수수 파마 벤치 도저당도 가르치는 거는 다 랍초로 왔어.
So the people that are related to you in this country, like your parents, of course, and your families, your friends, and they're very kind to you. You can say that, right?
다 아니고 그냥 야나 코리아나 야가운데서 뭐 가르치니까 그래서 나도 식삼나를 와.
So it's easier to think of the people around you, how they've been kind to you in some relation. But how do you think of other people who you have never met in this life, like people from different countries, like India, China, Korea, and so forth?
우리 그 의사고 그렇게 제대로 간 거라서. 다들 내가 통화로 왔어. 통화라. 그래서 애플에서 그렇게 쉬고 왔어. 그래서 강가 수에서 다전 대나 소리로 왔어. 대나가 때 소화되는 나도 때 배치 당하시고 와.
So nowadays, like you go to the store to buy Apple product, right? That's very famous, right? The iPhone, the iPad, and so forth. So all these, where are they made? You are going to buy where are they made in China, right? So it's by the kindness of the Chinese that you're able to have these products.
야, 다들 배 주지도 그래. 대만에 대단한 건 레사게 와, 로사게 와. 나도 이네
So then when you think about those kind of examples, I mean more like the food that we eat, the fruits that we eat, the rice, the milk that we drink, and all these food that are readily available for us to consume. Are made by who? Have you experienced the difficulties that people have to go through to grow a handful of rice? Have you seen places where they grow rice? We have never experienced that, right? And we have never been in the field and touched the seed and dig the ground and so forth. We never did that, right? Somebody has done it, right? So because these people did it, therefore we're able to have this food, different kinds of food, right?
Even we can say Jacob, the country's enemies, for very country, Jacob take Kaptegi, Jody, Jacob like a chimor was. And you captain the Yola Tenny, the Jacob take a call of some which was out of here. The soldiers are going to tell the Mimo like out of here was.
And then also you can say in another way, like the enemies of that country is also very kind to that country because there is an enemy. Therefore, you can sell the weapons, right? And then because you can sell the weapons, you can create the weapons. Therefore, many people are able to get a job and so forth. So if we, you can think in many bad ways or good ways, they have been very kind to us.
간지머지 텐지 삼노다와나 징아도 심지에 강가 투소 타 니야와라 니야가나 가지고 딱까리 침몰을 해지 삼노다는 문지 고야를 요래서.
And so if we think in that way, then we can find out that all these sentient beings, whether they live nearby or far away from us, they have been very kind to us in many different ways.
근데다 다 말아서 나지 대화도 누가 문제가 칭찬을 해서.
And they are all the same in wanting happiness and not wanting any suffering, just like ourselves.
저도 대 집밤 저도 캘린더 소리였어.
Do you accept that we are all same in that way?
사실 나도 관계 캘린더 올라왔어. 강가 쇼케는 군대가 주대한데 대화지 생각 주대요.
So we can all accept that, right? Because everything that we do from the time we wake up till we go to sleep is to find happiness, right?
근데 소리 대화 태도나다 남무라 뭔거예요.
Now, of course, there are different ways that we look into finding the happiness.
가시다 미토네, 땅토네, 벤조토네. 근데 남무라는 건 소소직 다 이해 그들지는데 같이 대화 소리로.
Some people find the happiness in different ways. Like some people use the method of obtaining more wealth, or some obtaining fame and the name and fame, and some power and so forth. So through that, they think we can achieve happiness, right?
근데 이다 너도 jelata 삼제도 장 알아나지 대화지 누가 먼저 그랬다. 누가 너 저마로 누가 너 집가로 삼로지가 지에서라고 그러죠.
So anyway, by thinking in that way, then think of all sentient beings wanting to be happy and not wanting any suffering, just like myself, and may they all be free from all the suffering that they don't want. So if you have that thought, that's called compassion.
근데 이다 이제 세대 다 통합같이 무시하죠. 이제 세대 맨날 다 산지게 공부하세요. 근데 대화사 다좀 미스바리 요말해서 말해서.
So it's very important to have compassion at the beginning. Without that, you will not be able to have the wish wanting to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings.
그러나 너도 신동거라 신동마도도 제대로 되게 담보마 따위하게 사회도 내봐야나 다 제요말 왔어.
And so, for example, the fully ripened fruit that we see on the tree, that would not happen. That would not happen if there was no seed planted on the ground before, right?
근데 이다 이제 세대 아니 다 상처에서 싸워래. 사제 공부터가 되게 jet-lower에 송거들어. 책도 없지 말이야.
So the compassion is the root of the enlightenment, the main cause for wanting to have main cause for having that wish, wanting to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings.
삼제 담제 등하다 전지 돌로다 니제라고 그래서 와 니제라고 그래. 나도 니제다 가리나 섬대 말들이 니제라고 그래서.
So the wish thought wanting wanting all sentient beings to be free from suffering is called compassion.
아니 대화다 전지로다 아니 샴바스라고 그래서.
And the wish wanting others to be happy all the time is the love.
그래서 니제의 여와는 샴바도 나게 한 거래서.
So if there is compassion, the love will be there automatically.
그렇죠? 나도 바와 마스 지려야 그 대화다 전지로 예와를 왔어.
In our parents' mind, they have this wish wanting their child or children to be happy all the time, right?
다 들이 대화다 되지. 대화다 대화다 딱 세념스러다. 딱 나를 제고 섬로더라 딱 학습이스러워.
And so that thought, wanting others to be happy, others to be free from suffering, and then it says, I myself will make them happy. I myself will free them from all sufferings. And so that thought is called a superior thought.
다 대화다 대화 되게 채다 다 서지고 막 토바 쇼니 그러더라. 다 샤지고 셈스라고 그랬어.
And so that superior thought, this is I myself, just taking responsibility from yourself to do that. That's the superior thought. And then to do that, I have to become enlightened. So therefore, may I achieve state of enlightenment to benefit all sentient beings. So when you have that thought, that's called bodhicitta.
드릴로딩 가도 저랬다. 수지지 시박 하나지 드릴로딩 못 깨고 그래.
So that's the bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment. And so we have to develop a part of mind into that mind, wanting to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings.
당도 만수고 다 남의 주고 사지를 납자세 대해서 봐.
So that is the advice of the Buddha in Buddhism.
대체다 때다 대와 토크레스.
So if you do that, you will achieve everlasting happiness.
어디 니제서 돼. 다 니제서 통마 가지고 삼지 말아요. 바다 가지고 치료지 말아요. 치료 리도지 말아요. 뭐래들 봐.
So the compassion is important at the beginning, just like the seed, and it is important in the middle, just like the water, fertilizers, and so forth.
당가도 세베데 사고를 맞담니 아니 처당 리도 뭐가서 말구나요. 그 시도에 제일 말 왔어.
So even after you have sowed the seed, if you don't keep on providing manure, water, and so forth, then it will not grow, right? The seed will not grow.
어디는 샹주고 니제서 돼. 아니 샹주고 셈다. 돈이 더 불러서 기라 계속 많이 나야. 이제 전부 이제 되게 끝내 나는데 다 손으로 쳐. 먹고 싸고 그래서 대마사나 아니 다 칠림 매배가 다 사람이 집어잡으라고 그래서.
So even if you have developed the bodhicitta and some realization of emptiness, but if you don't have compassion, then you will not continue to engage in the practice. And so therefore, the compassion is very important in the middle, like water, manure, and so forth.
다 산재 숨어야나야 이제 제못에 다 그래도 요거 그러지. 빼나가도 시도를 계속 그래라. 수다 보면 그게 샤샤거나 그 리네 안에 산이 명처럼 배치 명처럼 그러고.
So then even after you achieve enlightenment, compassion is very important. For example, like the fruit that's on the tree. If you don't take care of it, it might rot. It might fall on the ground and rot and so forth.
We have on the tree on there. Usually they have a lot of fruits. When the fruits grow up, then the glad come to their pick up. We don't get to eat anymore.
Squirrels.
They always that my God. Mama ngaya, that's good as I
The good Gilari is the Tibetan word for squirrel.
Other squirrels are good. English, not?
Squirrel is the English one. Gilari is not, right?
Yeah.
What? Glass? Who's glass? What language?
Maybe in Indian word.
Maybe Indian word, I don't know. Anyway, they always eat. Sometimes we wish to eat them. Then before we start to pick up, then we eat. Anyway, the kanji nije chimbo sa de gomba la naba ingo mare nabi chuje go mare.
And also, it is not necessary to be Buddhist in order to develop compassion.
nije sa de 남의 추운 양력은 남의 잡고 말해서 잡고 말해서 추운 양력으로 남의 잡아서 가서 이제 사실 같이 다 무관하게 제일 남의 추운 남의 제일 말했어.
And so compassion is not only reserved by the Buddhist practitioners. It can be practiced by anybody. It can be generated by anybody.
대체 인자 이제서도 제가 계신 거래. 예. 그대만나 뒤걸어서도 떠와이나 아니 소소질라 드만 용어요 그래서.
And so compassion is very important. So if you try to do more of that, then there will be less of suffering in our minds.
대체 인자 딱 이제서도 거리에서나 이제 진짜로 동안을 tradi지거든 이제라고 그래서 대체로 소소질라 어쨌다고 그래서.
And so that mind wanting others to be free from suffering is compassion, right? We should try to see if we can develop that mind.
로지라 지는 하나만 삼좀 갈아서 삼고도 와. 데려다 오시. 로 데려다 오시. 로 수지 시발 띵고 받게고 그러고.
So the mind means like a wish, right? Like where we wish to eat, right? I say, oh, I'm hungry, I should eat. That wish. The mind or thought or wish and saying, oh, I should eat. So that kind of mind they should develop. So compassion is very important at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. Just the root or the cause of the bodhicitta. So the moment the person develops the bodhicitta in his or her mind, becomes an object of veneration, prostrations, respect and so forth by all the beings. And also it's very important to have a relaxed mind all the time.
아니 가서 때문에 제가 여기 밥을 정말 미식 저쳐서 먹었어. 아니 만족하고 다 만족 relax 가르쳐 그래. relax.
So during the teaching, last time during the teaching, someone asked His Holiness, how do we relax ourselves?
밥을 정말. then 때문에 제가 relax 해야 돼. 제가 지대가 내가 얘도 어디나 그렇고 말했어. 아니 제가 돼. 아니 다 쌤. So
and then His Holiness said, when we relax, it's not necessary to lie down. You don't have to lie down in order to relax. The relaxing is done by your mind.
And 생각해서 그 용바 그 양보여와 대가 잠지 근데 뭐도 수보는 상보는 거래.
How much your mind is relaxed, that much fit your physical body will be also.
아니 생각해서 부스토 대나 뒤쳐지 수보양 타보내와 뭐지 태양 통하는 거
And how much stressed, unrelaxed or stressed your mind is, that much the physical body of that person will be unhealthy and will have shorter life as well.
We everybody learn to long life, right? Are you guys trying to long life? Some people doesn't like this. Oh, my parents live over 90s. I hope I'm not living that kind of. Someone told me. Just we talk about something like this. Well, my parents usually they live over 90s, and he said, "I hope I'm not live over 90s." But usually everybody like to long life, right? Healthy, long life. Therefore, healthy, long life also. Healthy and long life is the result. They also need a cost. And who create? They create to us. I can, for example, I cannot give to, healthy life. Maybe, doctors give to some medicine. The medicines make to one side healthy, and they make one side to unhealthy. Right? Right now the medicines, it works one part, that it causes one part.
Side effect.
What? I don't know.
So it helps in one way, but it causes harm another way.
간증 안 좀 삼선 걔만 나려나 걔만 저렇게 받고 싶다 너도 다 해서 찾아만 나버려 왔어. 너는 나도 시하지 마서 하자. 너도 할때 내가 찾아 그러지.
So if our kidney is bad, then the doctor said, oh, you have to remove it, otherwise it will be very painful and a lot of suffering for you. So they remove it. So and so in that way, so you should reduce suffering, and you should be happy, right? But then on the other hand, your one part of your organ is missing now, right?
Then you more sure that if you happen the other one, then you to go to goodbye. But maybe they can change. I heard now they can change it. 생각하면 좋으죠. 생각.
So you can what do you call that, transplant the heart or other organs, right? As well.
Anyway, today 같이 멤버가 가동하고 할 때 제통 말해서 같이 쇼츠를 하는 쇼츠 내야 되겠죠.
So anyway, so this the external doctors, when they help us in this way, they help us in one hand, but in the other hand, they cause harm also.
그러다 쇼츠에 삼선 다 시제 남자 시당 타는 수보다고 내가 제 남아를 연구를 해서 만수 샘 만수 다 수보나야 아니 그래 롱 집밥 밖에 말이에요. 대치 차 많이 나? 그러면 나요 그래서.
So in our body, we have all these different the elements, different things in our body. So if any of those are missing or are unbalanced, then that will cause cause us to be sick and so forth.
근데 일단 너도 지금 선바 다 시대다. 앞에 오면 있나? 아니 롱치 밖에서 다 다다리 되는 말이죠.
So we have these three things in our body: the wind, the bile, and the jaundice. All these diseases. I mean, all these things. If they are not in a right balance portion, then we'll be not healthy.
근데다 근데 찌를 쪄서 찌를 찌 마사나 아니 되게 찌지 아니 신경이야. 그래. 로바치 생각은 다 하면 거래요.
So anyway, if there's any of these are missing, then that will cause others to not work properly, and that will cause an unhealthy body.
근데 대양 소다 너도 선 제사로 제사 자식급이 선도 되게 그래서
And these all, I think, are based about 80 or 90% of it is based on the mind.
와 근데다 그게 많이 나지. 지금 기본 해례로 하다 시작해 주셔야 돼.
So it's always important to relax your mind.
아니 대형 탑시 가는다 그게 지금 신배를 삼아야 보지나 아니 생각 그게 뭐래서
To have the relaxed mind, you have to have the thought wanting to help others. If you have that, then your mind will be relaxed.
근데 신배 삼아 용어라 다 단단 나서 나지 나나 삼대한테 대충 다 그래서
And in order to have that thought wanting to benefit others, then you have to reduce the thought thinking of oneself alone all the time.
먼저 너다 망나서 강가 삼대 되게 딱 키우고래.
And so all the sufferings, all the problems that we experience are brought by this thought wanting happiness for ourselves alone.
어다 대 식당 가서 남들 주셔야 돼. 다 식당 가서 딴 남친 로다로 그래 들어.
And so that's how it is in reality, and also that's how it is taught in Buddhism.
아니 얘들면 다 소소 따지죠 그래.
So whether it is true or not, you have to investigate yourselves.
Go to Google and do a search. True or not? Maybe you don't find. 어때 다대전 당도 저기 다 넘는 말로 이해들어.
So now we'll go through the text.
다 사실 나와 있어. 신이 된서가 때문에 편견제다 맡기는 이유 제거네. 다 때문에 편견제도 숨이 다 맡으면 이유. 어떤 소 로벨이 아니 이유. 제리 다 그냥도 나와서 가지고 있어요.
So if you look at the topic, the outline number 79. So there's the 8 benefits of relying on a guru and 8 disadvantages, faults of not relying on guru. And then there are all, 8 disadvantages of improperly relying on Guru. Lapsing the Guru devotion. So anyway, in the group here, we don't have to worry about this, right? None of us here have lapsed our Guru devotions. So let's read that together first, right? Outline 79. Yes, outline 79.
What section? Which page?
Page 231 is a blue book.
Yeah. It's well, outline number 79. Outline number 79. Because the different book has different page
The
numbers.
yellow book, it's on 266 in this gold book.
266 on the yellow, and I don't know what number for the hardcover. Another hardcover also, right?
Yeah.
아니 지금 와는다 나도 지금 아니 나와야 계획 보자 뭐 샤워를 해요.
This all came by it. Okay, let's read that.
It's page 266 on the hardcover.
So you will not develop fresh qualities you have not already developed, and those you have degenerate. Criticizing your guru prevents you from developing fresh realizations in this life, and those you have already developed will decline. Acharya Krishnacharya studied his order in order of his guru, Jalandhari, and thus did not accomplish the supreme goal in this life. Rechungpa disobeyed Milarepa 3 times and did not achieve the supreme goal. They say he took 3 rebirths to achieve it. Once an acharya of low caste had a high caste disciple. This disciple could fly in the air. One day he flew over his guru, thinking, not even my guru can do this. His power immediately declined and fell to the ground. Pandit Naropa forgot his guru's command and buried with some Tirthikas and thus did not achieve the supreme goal in that lifetime. Wait until he reached the Bharata. Manjushri predicted the 2 particular novices from Khotan who will achieve the supreme goal in that life, but the 2 developed wrong view about the Dharma Raja Thubten Damchoe. Because of their doubts about him, instead of achieving the predicted supreme city of Buddhahood or returning to their homeland, they gain only the city of being able to fill the sack with gold. So if you have wrong view about your guru, it corresponds to your development of insight and realization, and the great cities you were to attain becomes lesser ones. If you mix with a bad company, your insights and realization will be dimmed. You must avoid such things. Most people these days only cling to this life. Everybody overvalues this life. Even those who care about us and those who look upon us helping us are actually bad company. Bad company don't wear clothes sacking. They don't have horn on their heads. Bad company means people who make you do something non-virtuous out of blind concern for your welfare, or who prevents you from doing something virtuous. Ignore such people, no matter who they may be. Regard them as terrifying, as if they were mad elephants, tigers, or leopards, and avoid them. There are still some of who have few ones and are content. Such people say soothing things like, don't give up so much, nothing comes giving up so much. People who say such things are in fact a bad company, but don't contradict them directly and don't insult them, but ways for practice.
Okay, good. Now everybody got the page number. It's good to know. Everybody who knows the page number, they can talk loud and everybody found numbers. Very good. But then 단 네가 사진하고 되고 딱 같아서 너 쇼가 때문에 배는데 진이하고 때문에 얘한테 각각 꺼내 배는 거를 했어야 되는 거야. 그래서 때문에 배는데.
So the benefit of relying on a guru, is that you will develop all the qualities, right? All the good qualities.
다 내가 갔는데 얘한테 너무 싹 제가 말해 제서마다 많이 잡고 그래서 말이야.
And here I say that if you don't rely, or if you, rely, if your guru devotion lapse, or if you criticize a guru and so forth, then you would not be able to and develop new qualities that you have not developed before, and those you have developed, the old qualities that you have developed before, will be declined. So we forgot many things that we learned before, right? So that is, like those we have generated before have been degenerated now, right? So we keep on studying, but then we keep on also forgetting.
It's everybody, not just you guys, everybody. Today is
as we forget, then we keep on studying, and then also again we get keep on generating new qualities, right?
아니 신년 때에서 로페이 그 예능 때 디파 간대죠 되지 아니 아주 좀 더 좋아지고 말이죠 좋아.
What kind of negative karma one clears? Someone who have lapsed his guru devotion, or someone who has criticized his guru. So this was a question asked to Buddha.
근데 산지가 사단지대 잡아지래. 그래서 다 문제가 마성 말했어.
And the Buddha said, you will not be able to bear, to hear that. That all the gods and humans will be terrified of that.
다가지 라마라 니메셔나스 다 간절 라마라 셈빙 거는 지소소 댄스 론에 지 니메셔와 나스 코노사가 와 디데 또바사데 지 계시다 소소리 또바사 지 계시다 됐어. 맞지원은 야마지도 그랬어.
So if he was to tell in detail, and then people would be all terrified. People and God, they all would be very terrified. But anyway, so he said that if you criticize your guru, you have relied on someone else, your guru, and then later if you happen to criticize him or her, then you will not be able to develop new or fresh realizations. So when we were young, we have deceived our teachers, cheated on our teachers many times. Have you?
You got cheated when you was kids school. Yeah, I cheat a lot. Sometimes I don't want to go to different class, pujas, I was sick. And who's sick? Then Buddha was sick to permission, nothing to do. Then they say, I'm sick, teacher doesn't come to the chair, or what's that?
Pulse.
Then I say, I'm sick, I'm today very fever, then she sleeps. You're not really sick there. You don't want to go to teaching. You just... So
we have cheated or lied in this way many times, right? So anyway, we have lied in this way, but that's not as bad as criticizing the guru or disparaging him or her and so forth, right?
제가 관심 많이 다더니 어떤데다 다 watch를 된다. 여원 나부 저기 라마 가래. 라마 자라라비. 자라라비. 까주도 잡겠지. 잡게 그들은 좀 말하다. 그들은 좀 말하다 해서.
So it says Acharya Krishna Acharya started this orbit on order of his guru, Narendra, and did not achieve or accomplish the supreme goal in that lifetime. So this orbit means like you know you can do it, you know how to do it, and you can do it, but you did not do it. So that would be disobeyed. Otherwise, just not doing it will not be disobeying. So Rechungpa again disobeyed Milarepa 3 times and did not achieve supreme goal in that lifetime. So he had to take 3 lifetimes, 3 lives to achieve that.
아니 너마다 로면 ring 해봐지라야 로마를 좀보지 왔다. 아니 로마도 니마치 딱 저게 뭐 상도 벌네. 딱 이제 남아라. 나도 지금 저기 또 봐도 요 말에 코스 말에 쌈 다가는 것만 사서 말해서.
So again, it says here, right, the low caste teacher had a high caste disciple. So disciple who was flying above the guru and thought that his guru, even his guru cannot fly up in the air, and immediately his power lost and he fell on the ground.
딱 나도 저도 라마 치면 되는데 쟤는 상제도 너무 되게 왔어.
So in the Guru Puja it says that you are the guru, you are the Buddha, you are the Dhamma, you are the Sangha, and so forth, right?
어떤지자 간제 라마 네 사베가 아니 지게 됨새야 주종세가 소마세 같이 다 매월 말해서.
So it's the Lama is everything. He's the Guru, he's the Buddha, he's the deity, and so forth. So therefore, there isn't any Buddha or deity that is higher than the Guru.
아니 누가 아니 말베리야 메르데 말이야. 아니 지난기 라마 제는데 예담 제기 있어. 아니 맞다 라마 그런 제대로 다가 예담 제기 그라 말했어. 아니 라마 메르데 나로바. 어떻게 라마를 아니 라마 메페가 예담이요 말했어. 아니 예담들 다 라마가 좋아해 송하더니 아니 이제 말하고 말했어.
So Naropa told Marpa how many, whether he wants to see the Guru or see the deity. He thought, I see Guru all the time, so but I haven't seen a deity. So then he chose. He said, I want to see deity. And then Naropa said, there isn't a deity apart from a Guru. By saying that, and then he wasn't able to see deity either.
어다 된저기 딱 로지 몸을 나도 다 로지를 와서 왔듯이. 아니 벤제 나로베야 라미까 제니 아니 다 못해 봐 쪼가지네요. 조금만 더 봐도나 자리고 좀 내셔야지.
It says also Naropa, Pandit Naropa forgot his Guru's command and went with Titikra, and thus did not achieve supreme goal in that lifetime, but had to wait until he reached the Pardo, the intermediate state.
아니 잠배야지 아니 제대라 아니 조금 좀 더 뉴텐데가 아니 개들니 야다 주제 쏘는 거 봐라 로타제네 조금 더 던져야 잡다 아니 소리 봐야 팔래네 다 세트에서 잡아라 다 그러 마토는 좋은 거 맞아 말했어 다 됐더라 맞아 말했어.
And then also these two disciples, the two novices, created by Manjushri, who were to achieve enlightenment that very lifetime, but they had a wrong view about the Dharma Raja, Dharma King, Songtsen Kampo, and because of their doubt towards the Songtsen Kampo, and they were not able to achieve enlightenment. Instead, they were just able to return to their homeland with a few bags of gold.
근데 다 라마라 아니 로타 냐도 로타 쇼와이나 아니 되게 다른 게 전부 이제 와야 되나 주주자로 그래서 아니 조건 잡아야 되냐 조건 잡는 거 잘하고 그래서.
So if you have wrong view towards the Guru, then that will prevent you from achieving the realizations quickly and delay it. Or if you were going to achieve higher realization, then that will reduces to lower realizations.
그래서 간제 계계사들 딱 계획 도포에 말했어. 계획 도포.
So the spiritual teachers, the master or the guru, is the virtuous friend.
그래서 나도 도포는 이해했어. 계획 도포다 계획 도포는 이해했어.
So the friends that can be virtuous friends and non-virtuous friends.
그래서 딱 계획 도포는 가지는 로인 딱 만들어 줘 그래서.
So we should not company with the non-virtuous friends.
아니 비솔라 때네 다 저기잖아. 얘들 와서 다 매화처럼 그래. 많이 윤도 그래.
Because if we associate with the non-virtuous friends too much, then they will cause to degenerate our realizations, knowledges, and so forth.
근데 단내 남의 지금 가르나. 냠내고는 딱 고셔 그래. 대사 뭐 파쳐 챈다. 쭉 셴바라. 셴바샤도 인베라와 당시 챈다. 다 챈데 쭉 챈다. 소소야지 무슨 말이야 제주제가 딱 들어차려고 그래서.
So it says here, most people these days only cling to this life. Everyone is overvalues in this life, even those who care about us, have those who look upon us helping, are actually bad companies.
Then maybe we don't have any virtual friends. We are very running to daily life. 다 간제 말이 아니 대조사의 간제로서 가지고 소소라 배 통도 소소라 간도 가고 싶다. 용도도 들었다. 들려나 대조요래서.
And so the bad companies or the bad friends, non-virtuous friends, can be someone who, who shows like they have so much concern about our welfare and so forth.
근데이다 대조사는 고라라 ten이 샤모가 되게 어디에 주신 거고 영화요 말해서 와가지고 소소라 간도 년도 가지고 수수고 영화요 이 샤모 무기에서 파트너이나 아니 되게 좀 보스.
So non-virtuous friends are not obvious from outside. They don't wear corset or have horn on their head. And there's someone who shows as if they have so much concern about you, and then encourages you to engage in the non-virtuous actions. So those are the non-virtuous friends.
답변 잘하고 싶어요. 되게 쇼크에다 주는 남이 사상이나 조그러니 와지. 지금 되면 다 주제가 저기 있었다. 되게 유슈스 아니 셴바이로스 도착하려고 좀 더 알아서나. 다 되게 완성을 좀 뒤쪽으로 완성을 했어.
And so, like for example, today, this morning, you decided to, go to the center, to practice, to listen to the teaching, and then this person says, oh, let's go and let's go out, to the beach or somewhere. It's very fun there. And if if that person, encourages you to do those things instead of allowing you to go to the center to do practice, then that person is your non-virtuous friend. So most of us, we follow our non-virtuous friends a lot, right? So you think they say, oh, they don't, let it be today, let's do it tomorrow. So the closest non-virtuous friend is with us all the time.
Do you know who's our dearest friend who was always with us to non-virtuous friend? Do you know who?
Your ego?
Kangaroo?
Your ego?
만들지. 대야래서. 저거들 남자 lazy.
That's true, but it is the laziness.
Oh, no, laziness doesn't want to do anything, right? Virtue, non-virtue doesn't matter.
So the laziness, is the one that wastes our time, right? And every time we want to do something good, and then it says, oh, don't do that today. You can relax and do it tomorrow or some other time and so forth. So that prevents you from doing what you want to do today, right?
Laziness love us, oh, you're really tired. You don't want to do that. Maybe tomorrow, next day, next month, or you don't need to do that. Always. He said, oh, you have to sleep, or you have to lay down, you have to relax, you have to go with other things. And that, 가제 만서다. 아니, 다 레이스도 다 맞아. 데뷔 잡고 다 예조들이.
So the grasping at the I, the ego, and laziness are the closest non-virtuous friends with us.
남들 사람은 남들 못 가는 못해 나도 뒤로 쟁도 대로 뒤로 해요 말해서.
So we normally think that people who don't like us, who don't like us are non-virtuous friends, but they are not non-virtuous friends.
고도 나도 가나 고도 사람도 지도 말해.
Because they will not be able to lead us to do the things that the things that are bad. They will not be able to lead us to do the things that they want us to do.
If they say something, we are fight back that one. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. You have to fight them. So that they don't want it. That's what it is. 맞다. 아니 다 lazy. 아니 소소나 잡아 잡아서. The real non-virtuous friend is the grasping at the ego, the I,
attachment and laziness. Those are the actual non-virtuous friends.
아니 추조의 쉐바였나? 다 소소라 간도 년도 양도 치등의 소소 샤트는 지금 되나야 다 들어요 송거래서.
So even among the people who show so much concern about us, who always seems to think about our welfare and so forth, they can be also non-virtuous friends.
대마를 다 감가도 말았어. 대들이 나라요.
Yeah, can be. Yeah.
Otherwise, maybe we say all that may be a little bit dangerous.
So it can be among them. Not all of them are like that, but can be among them.
And such a budget better than the two inch chasing power, searching dead in it. There are the deeper tone baby. Shaping the function of house as well.
And so the printer said, the non-virtuous friends don't wear core seconds or don't have a horn on their head, and they are the one who seems to cherish you and who seems to be concerned about your welfare. And so those are the non-virtuous friends, and they should be abandoned just like you would want to abandon any kind of diseases. So anyone who causes you to engage in non-virtuous actions, who encourages you to engage in non-virtuous actions, who prevents you from engaging in virtuous actions, are the non-virtuous friends. And so the anger is one of the main factors that causes us to decline or degenerate our virtues, right? And so it says right here, ignore such people, no matter who they may be, regard them as terrifying as if they were mad elephants, tigers, or leopards, and avoid them.
And then the Tangashi can do she chooses Shabatala, the motto, you don't cheat on him, Moshi Yamba, Mama Muya, Onya. Don't do Tony, but there is a Tsubamo, Rangi, Lalan Telmajaba. Gusons, the Tang of the Tang, Pavilion of the years of Kashi. The Church Marida, the Chemo of the yours, the mother to educate someone else.
So it says there are still some who have few ones and are content. Such people say something soothing things like, don't give up so much. Nothing comes of giving up so much and so forth. So you shouldn't listen to these kind of people.
But I think this country may not that country. A country to Yamlin by Yapoji, I know that could task, motor task. Since you got a chicken chicken and the party got the nature and us with the pass of this.
So if the practitioners this is he's just like that, she's just like that, not really practitioner and so forth. They are just doing out of everybody concerns and so forth. Then that can be bad for us.
And Namjung also gossip of Chegger, gossip Chegger was gossip.
Gossip. Oh yeah, gossip.
And then Najanara can do Tam to Shanghai Center to buy shooting in the Yanada, that's a ton. There was that is James.
So, when we gossip a lot, right? Or we gossip, we talk about people, we talk about things all the time. So senseless chatter, so that's called gossip, right? So that has nothing to do with you, just keep on talking, who has what, who's doing what, and so forth. So those kind of come. So in the gossiping, if you were to despise others and praise yourself, then that's called that's one of the downfalls of breaking the bodhisattva vows. So if we take these vows, like the bodhisattva, the other vows, if we take the vows, so many of these vows, yet if we keep on breaking them, and just not keeping them properly, then just by taking them, we're sort of creating non-virtuous actions, if we're not able to keep them properly.
와다 되는 맛이 다 되는 맛은 가서다 가서 좋아지고 왔을 때 맛이로서.
So look, we'll stop here for now and then go through the questions that's given out to you.
Okay. The homework. Show me. You have it? You got it? No one? You guys saw homework? You guys saw? That's your middle. 라마나 초선 라마나 초선 집에 최선 집에 얘기 전화는 그래서 좀 이제 가능해요.
So do you know the question? You guys know?
Yeah,
Question?
question.
Anybody know?
This
When you has it?
This is the question?
You can.
Yeah, you can read it. This is the question?
You don't want to read it? So if you get angry towards your guru, why would the merit equal to the number of moments you get angry will be destroyed?
Okay. Anyone give the answer? Anyone to this? We allow one interest. He said? Say something.
Because a single moment of anger destroys an eon of merit. And then so is every moment of anger we have towards our guru is that many eons we spend in hell.
Why destroy?
Why does it get destroyed? You said it gets destroyed, right? The question is, why does it get destroyed?
This is the question, okay? Everybody knows they destroyed, but why? Yeah. You get it?
Disrespecting, since disrespecting your guru is like disrespecting the Buddha, so you're creating heavy negative karma.
You want it? Collide.
Yeah, so similar to that, right?
And the Pejana, you what? And Lama de Susun Division, San Diego, Susun Division, that means Tasha Mano. Kings of Tasha Mabares, and that tell the Basana, and the Sanjana Mako, that's what you saw.
So yeah, because Guru is like the representative of the Buddha, right? And the Buddha came in the form of Guru to help us. So if you get angry towards the Buddha, towards Guru, it's same as getting angry towards Buddha.
Lama, Sanjay Tanji, Randi,
Yeah, so that's what I said also, right? Because the Guru is the representative of all the Buddhas who came to subdue us.
They call it, you know, how where are they talk? Where are they say? What text they say?
Which part of the text does it say, right? Do you know that? Do you remember which part of the text it says that Guru is the representative of Buddha?
Outline 75.
Good.
So by looking at the question, I think he studied, right? He read, and he knows where it is now.
If usually my questions, I'm not just pick up.
So I usually ask the question from the text, so you'll find this answer in the text also.
Alright. That kind of cool on that country. And it's again a
So because if you respect, if you disrespect the Guru, it becomes same as disrespect to the Buddha. And therefore, it becomes a very serious negative karma. The second question is if you disparage your Guru, if we disparage our Guru, we will not achieve supreme realization even if we rely on Tantra. So does that mean there is a negative karma that cannot be purified?
Yes, no. Not necessarily.
So in the
So yeah, you were saying something?
So in the text it says that someone who despises his master from his very heart may practice but will not succeed. So at that point, that person hasn't yet given up the despising. There's still same anger and pushing the guru away. So, but if you take the action to like to Vajrasattva or something like that, some practice of prostrations and taking time in front of the guru to clear that sin away, then you can get back to it, but it requires effort. But as long as you haven't given it up, then there's nothing you can do.
As long as you haven't given up?
As long as you still despise
okay.
the guru.
That's the new Geshe Ngawang And so yeah, so it doesn't mean like you said, it doesn't mean that you cannot there is a negative karma that cannot be purified. What it means is that if you don't purify that, then even if you rely on tantra, you will still not achieve supreme realizations. And so as long as, like you said, as long as you purify with the the practice of Vajrasattva, mantra, and so forth, four opponent powers, with the four powers, including the four powers, then it can be purified. And so therefore we should not think that there is a negative karma that cannot be purified, and that is the karma, negative karma created in relation to Guru. So anyway, what you said is right answer.
Okay? Everybody follow him, then you are passed. 다 레벨 하나 근데 다 똑같이 되는 거 시작도 관리 시작을 했으나 다 처음 받을 수 받는 거. 다 대도 다 내려오고.
This is already answered question. What is the means to purify negative karma created in relation to Guru? What is the means or the ways to purify negative karma created in relation to Gurus? How do you purify that?
When, where, how. Just put maybe a couple of words. When, where, how. Is that it? Yeah?
You have to,
When, where, why, who.
I can do where and how, but I'm not sure when.
Okay. It's good.
I'll try.
Okay.
Where is you have to work directly with the guru to fix the relationship and ask for forgiveness. And how is by directly communicating with the guru who you have negative feelings for or are disparaging. So you can't do it going around to someone else. You can't use a different guru. You have to do it directly with that guru. When? I suppose any time. You're ready.
Good, good. Yeah, mala tarwa. Kapejan was. Kasi susu lama shui wa ina. Ani laminde kasi mena ani ta namda na chewres was.
So the one you said, like in the presence of the Guru, right? So what if the Guru is not there? If Guru is not alive, have passed away?
You always had tricky.
No, but it's there, right? In that same line, right?
Yes, same line. You can see just down there. You really, I remember I know I understand. You really read these questions. Just a little down there. You have this second answer there.
I suppose then, if the guru is no longer there, you could do it to a Buddha statue, or if there is a disciple of that guru, maybe you could work with that person.
It's not that. That's not it in the text,
That would
right?
work, okay.
But you read very good.
What else? Yeah.
The text says that you should ideally do this purification in front of the Guru while the Guru is still alive, and if he is not with us, before his clothing.
That's correct. You got it? Just you can maybe read the next line there. Answer there. It's very good, yeah. You guys studied also Toba Macho,
So you have not degenerated your realizations which you generated, right?
I think it started last week. But kanji chodo let together let the unit
So there are fewer people who answered, but those who answered had good answers.
But I believe who doesn't answer, they really know that they're a little nervous maybe if I say no. maybe that's not correct. 근데 야부셔라 간지 콘솔 나가가지고 식당 뭐 숨지라 쌈바 숨지를 줘. 아니 소주 쌈도 잡으려 줘. 나 너도 빼자 시작하는 거 아니야. 가가 고마치 남들로 왔어.
So I'm looking for different people to say different answers because different people have different thoughts, right? Different ideas. 30 different people have 30 different ideas, they say like that. So you just want to hear what each one says, what they think about it and so forth. But if you do go according to the text, then everybody will have the same answer, right? And so the answer I give, it says with all four opponent powers, confess in the presence of Guru if he, she is alive, if not, in front of his, her clothes, etc. So like you said, yeah.
Good. Any questions? You have any questions? Yep. Can you proceed first? Yeah, who? Let me go give her. Oh yeah, maybe yeah.
So in the text it said, let me see if I can find it. There are still some who have few wants and are content. These are the bad friends. Such people say soothing things like, don't give up so much. Nothing comes of giving up so much. People who say such things are in fact bad company. So I didn't understand, like, who are those kinds of people that, I don't know what it really meant.
대파지 팀마지 파지 다 치지는 건 당연해요. 파지 너무 배외를 솔라도 가시 없어. 아니 당무마도 자다도 요라.
지다 거랑도 좀 조시. 거랑도 좀 조시 맞지? 거기에 되는 미시다가 아 저랑 내가 방주야 말했어. 제가 방주야 말 방에 쳐야 말했어.
대파시에서 말이야. 너희 조시 제 등이지라 미치는 지가. 지나대 좀 배도 말했어. 지나대 배도 말이야.
I think there was something missing in the translation. So it's a person. Let's say you have you have less wishes, and you are content with what you have, and you say you don't want to achieve so much, so much worldly things. I'm happy with that. And then I come and tell you, oh, you shouldn't give up all those things, and it's no point giving up all those things. If I say that, then I'm a bad company. It's saying to someone who is, like it doesn't say clearly here.
Yeah.
It seems like someone with the less, with the content, less, desire and contentment says this to other person. It says like that, right? It's telling to someone who has less desire and is content with what he has, and then someone else comes and says, oh, you shouldn't give up. You shouldn't be content with what you have. You should go out and achieve more, and the wealth and all these things. And someone if they tell you that, then they're bad company.
Generating discontent, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
또 배우는데도 다단 가실기 내슈 초시 샤바타라 저좀 류당시 네 류당 체잖아 뭐시 년년 뭐가 유무스 또 배나다 가면서 다단 가실기 내슈 초시 샤바타라나 단 가실기 내슈 초시 샤바타라 oh, you don't want to get to this, you don't want to study that, you don't want to go there, go to dancing, go to doing.
So there are still some who have few wants and are content. And to such people, if you say something, don't give up so much, nothing comes of giving up so much and so forth. If you say that, and then it seems like okay, that's good. You're encouraging him to go out and achieve more things. That's good, but actually it would be bad. It would be bad company. That's what I say.
같이 처음 못 하는 게나, 저는 갈래 카드레스 처음 배도 말라거나, 다고 대량 들으셔도 말았어.
So if someone is making prostration, a lot of prostrations, and then then someone comes and says, "Oh, no point tying yourself doing that a lot. Don't tie yourself." It's just like it's concerned about you, but that kind of person can be a non-vicious friend.
아니 다 미치 자니마 그다는데 단대 이거 터치잖아 지금 아다 가져도 다 깔리 가더랬어. 그 인생 저렇게 되면 도 알아나. 근데 랑에데 뒤로 사서 말했어.
If someone says, why you're working so hard to, go to the center every Sunday, there's no point. You're not achieving anything. If someone says that, then that person is your non-vicious friend.
루다지잖아. 다 지금 제 춘담을 루다해요. 루다를
Hello.
그나 터치. 야라는 쳐봐. 마통으로 좀 밖에 있는 얘기까지 오도요. 소소고 루다지로 왔어. 아니 다 되게 루다고 말해 지나가 있나? 루다디가 그러면 다 되도록 찾아요.
So if you're a generous person, you give a lot to the beggars or needy people who are in need, and you make offerings to the three jewels and so forth. If you do that, and someone says, "Oh, there's no point making this offering. There's no point in giving to these beggars. They're very lazy. They can walk themselves. Why are you giving money to them? Why are you spoiling them and so forth?" So that can be also non-vicious friend.
야 소소히 나도 직대기 다지 저보다 말아가 시스템 좀 나한테 제가 발로 따네 아니 나를 지금 양 공부하고 좀 양을 제대나 아니 그 제대로 시간을 당을 봤어 일단 다양 담이 지금 대체를 담는 거가 진짜 좀 넣었어요 나는 모르겠어 그래서 말로 저는 좀 지금 말씀하거나 그게 다 뒤로 잡을 거지 됐어 남이들 권한으로 담이 올라왔어
So if you are someone who give up all the parties, having fun and going outside, but rather than spending time doing that, you spend the time doing meditation practice and so forth, and you are doing a good thing. That's for yourself and for others. But if someone can come and says, "Oh, you shouldn't be sitting all the time and meditating and practicing. Instead, you should go out and have fun," like that. So that kind of person will be non-vicious friend.
아니 쇼치니 루다기다 쇼니니 지 근데 가래 잡았는데 선한테 지와를 했다 개치쇼 그래서
알로 방서 가자.
루다지 가르다 로종당 지금 양매체도 개치버렸어 로종 체도 지금 되셨다도 개치버리라 그랬어 되셨다는 제대로 들어 저가는 나무 추 제가 그때 저가는 선한테 지와를 그랬어 생각 제대 남이 추치는 거든 저데 다른 나와도 계속 개말 저도 생각이 오고 그래서
너는 로방서 갔어.
소소치 예와 발로 담는 것이 추도되는 제대로 있나요? 아니 생은 저한 동안은 다그 루다 두 종으로 올라왔어.
So anyway, you give up all these things and then you practice. And of course, the main part of the practice is to bring some transformation, in your mind, in your thought. If that doesn't bring, then maybe immediately you're giving up, all those things, and it would be a kind of waste. Right?
사실 좀 내가 제메르다 보르다 제부 고네르다 해가지고 다 명을 상제서 말했어.
So Buddha Shakyamuni gave up all everything, gave up his life, gave up his wife, children, status, the kingdom, everything, and then he practiced and gained enlightenment.
근데 다 데려고 가지. 나도 데려를 땅마다 관심하지 말아서 지금 다 중심 방법을 땅에 지금 양내로 너로 채워야 되나요? 다 세면시라 배모도 나고 다 소소 땅으로 말해.
So even if you're not able to give up all these things, like great things like Buddha Shakyamuni did, but even those small things you give up, in order to do the practice. But if that doesn't bring any transformation to your mind, then even those small give-ups will be of waste.
But also don't give up, okay? We are not. I don't know if you guys are ready or not. I'm not ready. If you are not ready, you think, oh, Buddha did this, I have to do the yoga. Maybe 100% fail. I see, a lot of Westerns, also Tibetans, they want to retreat. They want to ask, I go online. Then they go there, couple months, couple weeks, then they come back. Then they destroy all things. 그러니까 민주 부서지고 그러서 그러시나?
계속 가을에서. 네.
그지. 그냥 담을 당하잖아요. 근데 주제 따달래면은 그지 딱 그걸로 사초만으로 다 정도 말했어.
So anyway.
일단 주제 따달래면은
So this is a little bit out of the question that you asked, but if you give up, if you give up too much, and try to do like they did it before, like the great practitioner did, and then you might, deprive yourself of all the things. If you cannot, you should give up only the things that you are at a level to be able to give up. You should not try to give up just because Buddha Shakyamuni gave up. So I should give up everything.
One monk. He was a retreat in Dharamsala, and he has brother. His brother is a business person. He has a restaurant in India. First, the monk, he went to Dharamsala retreat a couple of months, and he said he's going to retreat whole life. The Shatavara retreat whole life. Then a couple of months, his brother passed away. The business guy. Who is retreat, he come back to his brother's place, keep the brother's business, then he stay his brother's wife. He destroy whole thing. When they go shatter chayana, that video can
So if he really has given up everything and went in to do the retreat, then he should not be, bothered, or should not get into what his brother was doing or having. He should have given up all that as well.
Yeah. Oh, you have any other questions?
Oh, yes. I have a little difficulty understanding one thing that comes up a lot in teachings. Like today you brought up the kindness of other beings, and that comes up all the time when we discuss bodhicitta. How should one look at the situation where maybe, I'll give you an example, vegetables. So there's a farmer, but maybe he's not honest, or he has workers and he beats them, or, there's other examples like that in the world, right? Where it's not done, he's not really doing it maybe for the welfare of other people. He's selfish, he's hurting other people. The people who are planting and picking the crops, maybe, they have no choice. If they don't do it, they'll get, hit or whatever. How do we look at that as the kindness of others if it's not really done out of kindness?
신당기다 고랑기다 다른 아예 건설을 펜고 사면은 제가 알았어. 앞에는 저기 채사에 채사는 때 땅이지라 때 땅이지 채 종이미지라. 고랑이들은 가져라 펜고 사면은 그 채따르는 그냥 채 땅에 내가 지는 그 값이 뭐보다 쳐다보고다 안들에 채야겠어. 나저들이 고랑이들은 또 고랑지 캡성 사고 사면은 정치하겠어. 근데 저 맞아 저 펜토가 사면 저 가서디 맞아 채대하다 내 채하면서 대신에 한 맞아들은 건설하는데 고랑이 가는데 그래서 좀 가려진 고랑이 말아 펜도 좀 좋았어. 그래서 상담을 했어.
말 고랑 가르치는 집에 대가서 상담을 말했어. 간지 그 tema 따발할 때는 나도 tema 사야라고 그랬어.
So what you said could be true, but also it's not necessary to be true, right? He could have had that thought. Maybe he had a thought, to say, okay, so many people are relying on the vegetables, so I'm going to sell them vegetables so that they can have vegetables. So they might have that thought. We don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter whether they had a good thought or a bad thought. When they were doing that, when they were selling it, whether it's only for their profit or whether it was for the benefit of others, it doesn't matter. But we do benefit, right? We do receive the benefit.
So
of course, it's usually understood that those who are doing business, they're doing for their own profit, right? And so if you keep on looking at someone else, to see whether they have been kind to us or not, and to see whether they have been kind to us, and if you want to look in them, whether they had that thought or not, then you will never find it. You will never find that in someone. But what is important is from your side to think that they have been very kind to you, which is true in a way, because you have received what you needed from them. Whether they gave it good, with a good thought or a bad thought, doesn't matter. So if you are looking only for those, who, if you say they have been kind to us only if they had a wish to be kind to us, then you will never find anybody like that. Even the parents, we say parents are very kind to us. Of course, that's true. But then some people say, oh, parents, they made us for their enjoyment, for their life. They want to have a kid, so that's why they did not, because they want to benefit us. Okay. People might say that way. Also. But they have taken care of us, right? They have given us what we needed, brought us up, and they did all the things. Therefore, they are very kind to us. So whether they had a wish to benefit us or not, but they brought us and they did all these things, but therefore they're very kind to us. And just like that, the people who are selling vegetables, whether they had intention to help us or not, whether they give hard time to the workers or not, but anyway, we receive that, right? So from our side, we have to think that as is very kind to us.
Okay.
Great, thank you, Geshe.
Yeah. Just one more. Geshe said that as we first started practicing Buddhism, and along the line, if our delusions have gotten worse, then it's a sign that we haven't practiced. But sometimes, I've read this from some Tibetan masters too, sometimes it's said that it might seem like our delusions are getting worse, but rather we're just becoming more aware of what was already there. So I was wondering if Geshe has ever thought about this or...
So again, what do you mean by the delusions increasing in your mind? Well, it could mean like whether you are following the delusions or not. How much you follow the delusions.
Oh, so the difference between whether you're following them or not following
them. Not following them, yes.
I see.
You don't have to show the delusion. This is my delusion, you cannot show, right?
So, how much you are following towards the delusions. It's not like how much you see delusions in your mind. It's not like that. Of course, before you didn't know about it, now you know about it, so you see it. But it doesn't mean it wasn't there. But anyway, even if you see it, whether you follow it or not. And so if you see that this is miserliness, oh, I have miserliness, and then you said, oh yeah, I shouldn't give this to others, and I should keep it for myself, Even if I don't use it, I'll still keep it. If you do that, you're following the miserliness. But if you see that, but if you don't do that, that doesn't matter. If you do that, then you're following the delusion and not the miserliness, and that is bad. So how much you follow towards that, after that delusion, then that much delusion you have. It's not like a solid size. There's no solid size of a delusion that you can show.
Maybe some size, maybe our delusion, maybe not place to find but very big. Look at that.
Thank you. I've noticed that when I first encountered Buddhism that I thought that I didn't have much anger. And then a few years down the line I realized how much I really actually have. And so just noticing that, is that just a sign of progress, even just simply being more aware of it, even if it seems like it's worse.
콘도 이거 콘도 니마다 그런 넘어 맞아 보는 콘도 이거 하고 나서 이제는 넘어 지는 그런 콘도 이거 하고 나서 아니 뒤에 그래 또 예전에 다 그랬어.
콘도 무슨이 뒤에 말이야 예전에 다 알았어.
So if you see that there's anger, but then if you don't follow, then that's the sign of progress.
Then maybe if you understand, you follow the anger again, then it will be more worse. 너무 좀 콘도 하고 막 콘도에서 님이 하고 다 콘도 님이 막 하고 그거를 다 근데 마음 잡는다 시제다 시제죠 그래요.
So before you didn't know getting angry was bad, and you got angry. You are, there's an exception to that because you didn't know anger was bad. Now you know anger is bad, and you still get angry. There's no exception for that, and so it's worse if you get that. But if you don't get it, then that's better.
진짜 콘도 사사가 있나요? 나까지 또 그런 거.
최종선.
제주 콘도 치아사 말 사시간다 되어라.
And of course, it's not easy to give up, and even though you see it, anger is bad, but it's not easy to give up it completely. And so, so you try to reduce it as much as possible. Not get angry so much. That's what you can do.
랑크선이 요새 랑크선 답하자고 랑크선 저자고.
So you control your mind, you subdue your mind.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Page 39. Saji Poti Chokshi